Good morning, children. Today we are going to do the topic voice. Do you remember last year you have learned the two types of voice, which is active voice, and from active voice we convert the sentence into passive voice. I'm sure you remember all the topics we have covered under this passive voice. This year also you are going to continue this uses of passive voice and some exercises based on that. I'll take you through a quick recap of the forms of tenses that we require for doing this passive voice, because you have learnt the tenses, all the 12 forms of tenses in detail over the last 1 month's time. I'm sure that this is going to be easier for you. I'm going to send you exercises every day starting today under every topic of passive voice conversion from active voice based on every form of tense. Let's take a quick look at this passive voice uses and then we'll go on with the exercise. So what's an active voice? In a sentence, when the subject performs the action and the object receives the action, the sentence is said to be in active voice. For example, I can say that I brought a cake. So here I is the subject, brought is the action word, and a cake is the object. The action is performed by the subject and the action is received by the object. Let's look at what a passive voice. In a sentence, when the object is placed in the position of the subject and the verb is in passive form and the subject receives the action, this is called passive voice. Sorry, I have mentioned it as action, but it is passive voice. Like I said, in case of active voice, the sentence was, I brought a cake. Now we have to bring the object in subject's position. So a cake was the object in that sentence. We bring a cake to the subject's position. So we start the sentence with a cake. Brought becomes was brought. A cake was brought. And here we need to add by me. A cake was brought by me is in passive voice, whereas I brought a cake is in active voice. Let's take this example. Mohan played the guitar. So here it is a subject verb object combination which is in active voice. And then we have it in the passive voice, which is the guitar was played by Mohan. To convert a sentence from active voice into passive voice, we have to follow a certain rules. So the first rule is the verb in the sentence should be a transitive verb which can be followed by an objective. The action has to be received by an object. And the next rule is the prepositions which we use in the sentence by, with or in are often used to say who or what caused the action. So in the passive form, like we saw, the cake was brought by me. So you need to use it before the subject in the sentence. The past participle form of verb is used. We always use the V3 form of verb in passive voice. The subject takes the place of the object and the object takes the place of the subject. This is what I told you in the beginning. Subject and object interchange their places when we write the sentence in passive voice. We should remember it very clearly, children. The tense of the sentence does not change. Only the form of the tense changes. I brought a cake. The action word is brought. Brought is the past form of bring. So what happens to this sentence in passive voice? The cake was brought by me. So brought is the simple past tense. Still it stays in the simple past tense only. Okay. The pronouns are changed as shown below. You can see that I becomes me in case of that sentence. I brought a cake. The cake was brought by me. So I in the subject's place, when goes to object place in case of passive voice, it becomes me. Similarly, we becomes us. You remains you only because we don't have a second pronoun for you. He becomes him. She becomes her. Okay, children? Also, a helping verb may be added with the past participle form of verb as and when needed. We always know what are helping verbs. to maintain the tense in a sentence, we will need to use the base verbs like, helping verbs like is, am, was, were, been, being, etc. The questioning words in the sentence are also changed as follows. Who becomes by whom? Who brought the cake is in active voice. So this is an interrogative sentence. Who brought the cake? By whom was the cake brought? So here also the position of the subject, object and verb has totally changed. And who becomes by whom? What, there is no change in what. When, where also has no change. And the questioning word how also has no change. Only who becomes by whom in case of converting an active voice into a passive voice sentence. That's all, children. Based on these, you will try to solve today's exercises. I'm going to send you the questions. Soon I will also send the answers for these questions. Try to solve all these by today. Have a nice day, children. I'll meet you tomorrow with another bit of exercise. Thank you.